Hey guys, so firstly we'll be starting with the down part of the outfit. So the down part, that's the skirt part, we'll be starting with it. When you open it up, you place your lining on top of it, that's in front of the skirt. All right, place your lining in front of it, then you go to your sewing machine, sew the two of them together, flip it over, and then you top stitch on the lining. All right, top stitch on the lining. Remember that your lining is going to be 2 inches shorter than your main fabric, so the same thing you are doing on the front, that's the same thing you go ahead to do at the back. All right, then when you're done with that, you draw the lining upwards to reach the skirt, the waist of the skirt. Then you can go ahead and stitch the two sides. Okay, after stitching it, you're going to do the same thing both for the back and for the front. All right, after stitching it, go ahead and also stitch the waist. Then this is for your dart. You're going to measure 4 inches in and then 6 inches downwards. 4 inches in, 6 inches downwards. Okay, then that is it for the dart. So go ahead and also sew out 1 inches for the zip allowance area and also for the slit. All right, so I removed the front pattern that was in it because I was putting the both of them together. So after putting your dart, you're sewing in 1/2 inches for the dart, you're taking out 1/2 inches for the dart. So this is how you're going to sew your dart. From that 6 inches, you sew it outwards. You sew out 1/2 inch before you start joining it together with the front pattern, with the front piece. All right, so please, before you join together with the front piece, you're going to minus 1/2 inches to remove zip blocks. So you're going to minus 1/2 inches from the zip allowance side towards the side of your clothes. So you're going to line it like this, the way I'm doing mine now. So you just remove 1/2 inch, that thing is just 1/2 inches. So after removing that 1/2 inches, you now go ahead and join it together with your front piece. All right, join it as if you're joining your skirt. And guys, please mind you that this is totally optional. Joining like this is totally optional. All right, so if you don't want to do like that, you can leave it. So I went ahead to make 8.5 inches. You can do as well as 9 inches. That's for the zip allowance. I have to open it for the zip allowance. So at this stage, you are free to open your slits and with any amount that you want, like any inches that you want. I did 20 inches from down upwards, 20 inches. So I have to open it 20 inches for the slit, and then I have to fold it. I don't want to do overlap slit, so I just did folding. I have to fold it both sides. Okay, so that is it for the skirt part. We are moving over to the upper part of the outfit. But if you do not like joining your skirt part like this, you're free to leave it. All right, then when you're done with the upper part, you can then join everything together once. So right here, I'll urge you all to pay attention so you don't get confused. All right, so the first thing you'll be doing is to work with the two fronts, that's the middle of the front and the lining of it as well. So you'll be sewing that v-neck. You go to your sewing machine, you sew the v-neck, and then you use your scissors to give it a notch, cut it out, then you top stitch over to the lining the same way we top stitched the skirt part, you remember. So once you're done top stitching, you can go ahead and iron out the neck of the ankara. You can go ahead and iron it out. Okay, so once you're done with that, the next thing to do is to attach your sequence material under. Okay, so you guys remember when we did the sequence material on the other tutorial? So you can get your sequence material, you now attach it over to the lining. Please mind you, you're attaching to the lining, you're going to remove the ankara fabric, that's your main fabric. When you remove it, you attach it over to the lining, and then you just the edges of the lining, that's where you're attaching to. Okay, then after that, you can see the way it is here. The middle is going to be open. You're not attaching anything is at the middle, so it's just at the edges that you'll be attaching that sequence. Okay, so after that, the next thing you'll be doing is to now add the side of the lining, the both sides, that your the two sides of the bust area. Okay, once you add it, that of the lining, you can see the way mine is here. You have to go ahead and add it. So after adding it, remember to cut the under bust area so that it will relax. Okay, don't forget that. So I went ahead to stitch on my own. I went ahead to top stitch on my own. So I don't know, I actually normally like top stitching, but if you do not want to top stitch, you are free to just use iron and open it up. But I only top stitch on the lining and not on the fabric. Okay, not on the main fabric. I top stitch on the lining and not on the main fabric. All right, so guys, when you look at this now, you notice that I top stitched over to the lining side. I have to move it, all the stitching, to the over to the lining side. And before you top stitch, please go ahead and also cut, like give it a small cut before you start top stitching, so that it will relax. So if you look at it now, you can see the way that I top stitched towards the lining, the black lining side. So I'll say this again, if you've not been paying attention, please do well to pay attention. I'll be working with breast cups here because I do not want to put padding and the rest of it. Also for the breast cup, I'll be tightening it a bit. So I went up with 2 inches and then ½ inches by the side. Okay, so from that 2 inches, you're entering the ½ inches, just the same way we did our dart for the skirt. All right, so if you've not been paying attention, please pay attention here, because this side could be very tricky for you guys. Okay, so I'm going to my sewing machine. I'll sew out the ½ inches. So right here now, when you're done sewing the ½ inches away, you go ahead and cut it off. Okay, so when you cut it off, the next thing to do is to attach it to, you can see the way I did mine. I attached it, the place that I sew was under. Okay, so the place that is neat, the part that is neat is going to be upwards. All right, so you're going to put your hand inside the cup, make the clothes relax, like make the clothes to relax inside the cup. Okay, so you'll be stitching it. That is the main thing now. So you just find your way out, find a way to just make the outfit, the dress, the material to relax on the cup. Okay, on the breast cup. And then if your breast cup is so big, like even with the that intake, if it's still so big, you can go ahead and cut it off, like I mean towards that area that we have the V collar neck that went down. If your own is so big, you know, my own V neck was not much, so it didn't affect my cup, my breast cup. But if yours is much and you want to, and it's popping up, it's coming out to the V neck, you can go ahead and just cut it out. All right, so guys, the same way I drew that marker on my cup, that's the same way you're going to draw your own. Okay, and then you cut it off. All right, but I did not cut mine out. All right, I only did that just to show you guys. So I didn't cut it out because mine, I did not bring the V-neck down so much, so it didn't disturb the cup. Okay, so mind you that place that that area is going to be directly under your bust, under the bust, the joining at the under bust. That's it. So right now I'll be sewing on the black side, and then for this side I'll open up that golden. I'll sew on the black side, and then for the other side I'll also open up the golden, because you can open it up. I'll open it up and also sew the inside of the lining together with the cup. But if you cannot do it like that, you can go ahead and sew it on that golden, on the fabric, your sequence fabric. I hope you guys understand this. If you cannot sew on the sequence fabric, if you want it to be very neat, I want mine to be very neat. That was why I did that. I did it like that. And I do not want a situation whereby I'll be having plenty colors on the inner fabric. Okay, so when you raise up that sequence fabric, you sew on the black lining. Okay, you sew on the black lining and the pad together. That's the breast cup. You sew on it together. Okay, So which means you'll be sewing on one side, and after sewing on the other side, on that side, you just remove it and then come over to the other side and sew on it. But if you cannot do it, you can go ahead and just sew on the whole fabric like that. So after that, you go ahead and also join the front pattern. That's the two sides of the front. You join it to the front, okay, the same way we did for that lining. Then you do it for this. Then after that, you go ahead, iron it out, and then you stitch the both sides of it. Stitch the both side, okay, go ahead and stitch the both sides so that you can also cover it up. And also stitch the armpit, the armpit side. Stitch the armpit. If you want to stitch it inside, you can go ahead and stitch it inside. That's the armpit too, but me, I stitched my outside, okay. So iron everything out once you're done. All right. And when you look at the sleeve, you can see the way the sleeve is. That's the shoulder, I mean. When you look at the shoulder, you can see the way I'm holding both of them together. I have to stop stitch on it together. So remember that the sequence is 3 inches, while the other one is not the same size. I actually reduced the other Ankara material. I took it in with 1/2 inches, so that sequence should come out a bit, and then the Ankara material inside a bit. All right. So now we are done with the front pattern. We'll be moving over to the back, and for the back, I'm going to go ahead and close up the zip allowance side, okay. So only just the zip allowance side. After that, place the front on top of it like this, and then you put the shoulder together. Remember, the shoulder, that sequence should come out before the Ankara inside, okay. Then you flip it over, cover it up with the lining. All right, so please listen very carefully so that you do not make any mistake. When you cover it up, you can as well hold yours with a office pin so that it won't be shifting, because it keeps moving around. So when you place it like this, you go over to your sewing machine, and then you sew the shoulder together like this. So if you've been following my tutorial, you should be very used to this now. So once you're done with it, you're going to bring it out, and then the next thing is to now close up the side of the back pattern. All right, so that is it. Please do not close the neck. You are not sewing on the neck. You know this is a turtleneck, so do not cover the neck. Don't sew it in, okay. So for this side now, you're going to flip it over, and then you stitch on it. Then you bring it out again. So the armhole is going to be open, the neck is going to be open, and then the down part will be open as well. This is the same way you do the other side of the back pattern. All right, so once you're done with that, the next thing now is to put our dart for the back. So from the top, you'll be measuring 9 inches from the top. You measure 9 inches from the top, okay, 9 inches, and from the side you are coming in with 4.5. all right, 4.5. From the top, you measure 9 inches, and then from the side, from the zip allowance side, you measure 4.5. If it's the front that you want to put your dart, you measure 4, but this is the back, so we are using 4.5. 1/2 inches is for the zip. So when you've gotten this, the next thing you do is to now fold it the same way I showed you guys on the skirt part. That's the same way you also go ahead to attach your dart here. All right, so right here I'm done with the dart, and also had to go ahead and sew the back, just to hold it together with 1/2 inch. Okay, 1/2 inch is for the zip, so I went ahead to just hold it together with 1/2 inch. I'm going to go ahead and attach the sleeve. So I've already gone ahead to hem the sleeve. So now you are attaching the sleeve from the middle of the sleeve and the middle of your shoulder. After attaching the sleeve, go ahead and also join the fabric together with the person's measurement. All right, so guys, right here the upper part is also ready, but not fully ready. Okay, so the next thing we'll be doing now is to attach it to the down part. So that your skirt part, you're going to bring it, and then we attach together. So we are attaching the front and the front together, and then the back and the back. You can see me opening up all the areas, that I mean the side, just a little. Okay, So I opened up the side a little, and also the zip allowance for the upper part, I have to open it very well. Then for the front, I have to find the midpoint of the point of the front, the both midpoint of the upper part and the skirt part. So when I opened the midpoint of it, I joined it together from the midpoint, and then I don't want to join it round, you get, just in case if the person wants to lose it, so that it will be easy. So guys, you separately join the front and then move over to the back and also join the back. All right, you're not joining it round straight, but if you want to join it all round, you are free to. Me, I don't like joining it all round. Okay, so after joining it, I went ahead to attach the collar before the zip. Okay, go ahead to attach the collar before the zip. So but wait, hold on, I forgot to say this. When you finish attaching it, that opening will still be there, the opening at the sides will still be there, so do well to close it up. All right, so from the waist you have to go back and then close it up, join it to the hip. Okay, from the upper part you join it to the hip part, to the hip, that's the down part. Okay, so once you're done with that, you can now go ahead and then attach the collar. So guys, if you guys can remember, I've already gone ahead to do a tutorial on how to get the perfect neckline, a turtle neckline, how to go about it. So I won't be repeating that on this video because it's going to be very long. So once you go back to that video, you can see the way I went ahead to get the perfect turtleneck for this. It's not going to be tight. So once you finish attaching your turtleneck over to the round neck that you have there, you are free to now add your zip. Okay, so after all that, the next on our list is to attach the flower. That flower that we have, you're going to open up the shoulder of your clothes like that, and then you can use needle and stitch on it. Okay, so just hold both of them there, over there, and then at the top of the turtleneck you can add your hook and eye. Okay, and you are done with this tutorial. I hope this tutorial is very helpful. I hope you guys gained something from this, and I hope you'll be trying out this outfit very soon. So don't forget to subscribe if you've not subscribed, and if you have, thank you so much. See you in my next tutorial. Thank you, bye.